is Thursday, October 2025, and it is 5:30 p.m. At this time, we're going to have an invocation from Councilman Saldana and the Pledge of Allegiance from Councilman Grant.
Heavenly Father, we come to you this evening, Heavenly Father, with open hearts, Heavenly Father, ready to receive your guidance. We're asking for the wisdom, Heavenly Father, on these items that we have before us, is that it will be beneficial to our community and to each other. Lord Father God, I thank you, Lord Father God, for your goodness, your mercy. Father God, for your hand upon the bodies of each and every one of us. The healing process begins in our bodies and our heart. Father God, I thank you for watching over this community and for everything that you're doing for this community. From the young to the old, Lord Father God, we're benefiting of your goodness, Lord. Father God, I thank you for being so good to us, Lord Father God. In Jesus' holy name I pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This time, if you have your cell phone, I ask you to please put it on silent. And we will open the floor for public comments. This is a time for residents to share with the council any comments, concerns, and/or complaints that they may have. It is asked that each person limit their time to 3 minutes, as we do have several scheduled agenda items to attend to this evening. And for record-keeping purposes, it is asked that you stand at the podium and state your name for the record. Are there any public comments?
My name is Olga Flores, Maria Olga Flores. I'm a lifelong resident of Pecos, Texas. Thank you for hearing me out one more time. And it's the same old horse, trailways, the noise disturbance. I know we passed an ordinance, thank you, Mr. Orona, for approaching it and bringing it to a vote that the decibels allowed, the noise decibels came down to 70, which is awesome. But it's not, they're not holding. It's on and off, on and off. Spoke to one of the officers, spoke to Chief Tarango, and the officers shouldn't be made to monitor, to come over here and watch them or whatever. I don't know what the thing is, but some of them don't have noise meters on their phones, which who can blame you? My phone is already crowded enough. I have to buy more memory to keep that going, and then take screenshots whenever they're going past their 70 decibels. So I'll have the time and the date on there. So it's frustrating. I'm in a deep sleep, wake up. What is it? Railways, the base. I know that, you're young, you want to party, a lot of us have been there, done that, got the t-shirt. But at this day and time, I would like a good night's rest 7 days a week, and I don't think that's asking for anything impossible. A lot of my neighbors are still on board with that. We have whatever y'all need, as far as documentation from us, we have it ready, or we can, or whatever it is that's required. But I thank you all that you've been so gracious in allowing us to speak, or that I speak for them, because I did check with them, make sure that they're still on board. So it's just, it's not, I don't think it's impossible for them to monitor. I don't know what to do to get them to monitor themselves. Or I know Chief Tarango had suggested them having a monitor up there for them to see, to check the meter reading or whatever. That's what we do, Got it on my phone, go out on the sidewalk and check it, take screenshots or whatever. So, I would just ask that you all reconsider, and I don't know what to do, or what, if they're not following the code ordinance, what's the next step, or can we do anything, or, you let us know what we, the public, the residents, the neighborhood can do. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I am Danetta Seals, and I am honored to be serving as the president of the Pecos Rotary Club. As president, I am here to share with you and the community that the Pecos Rotary Club is willing and ready to take over the Golden Girl of the Old West Review and Little Miss Cantaloupe pageant. We want to ensure that this long-standing tradition continues with the utmost integrity. As an even longer-standing community nonprofit service organization, the Pecos Rotary Club already has in place the needed structure for oversight and transparency for this scholarship pageant. After all, this pageant originated with the Pecos Rotary Club. While it is in question who will take over spearheading this legendary pageant, we all need to remember that this pageant is not about you or me or anyone here in this room. It is about the experience all of these young ladies in the coming years will have and will forever carry with them. It is their time, their energy, and their money, or maybe it's their parents' or sponsors' money, but it is also their courage to get up on that stage in front of several hundred people, demonstrating their poise and varied talents. It is also about the friendships and camaraderie that are and is formed while participating in this pageant. We would never want a question regarding fairness or impartiality to be associated with the pageant, leaving any young lady with regrets as to why she participated. This pageant carries a reputation of being produced well. There are guidelines in place that should always be upheld to ensure its reputation. Everything associated with this pageant should always be decided with an open door policy and a paper trail miles long. Transparency is of the utmost importance. The Rotary Club already has a committee formed and volunteers in place, some with years of experience directing the pageant and others with direct pageantry experience, all ready to work to secure the future of this pageant for years to come. Thank you for your time.
Good evening. First of all, I want to apologize if I'm a little upset. I've had a really hard day from a very hard night last night in my neighborhood. I'm Sue Carrasco. I live at 1401 South Plum. And since my neighbors moved into a residence across the street at 1402 South Plum, I've had a major issue with the gatherings there. The couple that live there have a son. He's about 2021, I'm not sure, but they gather around there. And back in August, there was an incident where a little car, it was raining, and the little car took off from there, made a bunch of circles and U-turns, and anyway, I posted it on social media. I did call the PD. They did come out, and I wanted to make sure that the parents are aware of what whoever this kid was, and it did come out, and the mom did call me, and it turned out it was a 15-year-old boy that did this in this car. She called me crying, upset, asked me to take it off of Facebook, and I told her it was a little late because it had been viewed over 13,000 times at that point, and it got viewed a lot of times, and it was a dangerous situation. I did talk to the 15-year-old. He did apologize. I accepted his apology, and anyway, I told him, you know, he was lucky that he didn't have an accident, or, you know, his mom didn't have to come see him in an ambulance or something, but it was a very dangerous situation. There was never any follow-up as far as, like, to me this was deadly conduct, and I don't want to see a juvenile, you know, ruin his record, his life in the future for something crazy. And he said he realized when he saw the video how dangerous it was and all that. But what's bothering me most is the peace in this neighborhood has been going on for years. I've made many complaints. Officers have come out. Last night, they woke us up about 3 o'clock in the morning, and I called the PD because my husband was very upset, and I don't want to see one of these incidences where something worse happens. There has to be something drastic to happen. Like I told the officer, why do I have to cause a disturbance for something to be done? I've never known of any citations being issued to them. If that might, you know, make make something stop a little bit. I've talked to the parents. The parents don't seem to have any backbone with this son of theirs that controls, they can't control who comes over there. And there's several cars all the time. When the officers come out, I want to know, or I would suggest that they identify who's there. And I've heard from others in the neighborhood that there's underage drinking. I've never seen them give a citation for anything. Last night when I called, that they woke us up, they were laughing, going on. Their music was not loud when the officer got there, like he said, but it was loud enough to wake us up. And it upset my husband. I didn't want to see him, you know, go out and cause a scene or whatever, but I'm the one that did it. And I mean, I'm the one that ended up getting in trouble because the officer told me that, for one, I was being loud, which I did raise my voice. And another thing, he almost hit me. The officer almost ran over me because he didn't see me walk across the street, and I was almost in front of his vehicle when he started to take off, because when he came in front of their residence, all he did was roll down his window and he started to take off, and that's when I tapped his vehicle for him to stop or he would have hit me. And he says, "Oh, I didn't see you." And I said, "I know you didn't see me, that's why I tapped your vehicle." I said, "But I want you to make contact with them." And he says, "I did." And I said, "No," I said, "but this is a continual problem, it's going on, and I want to talk to them, I want you to be there when I talk to them." And he's like, "I know, I've been here when you called before, I've come, you know, I've responded before." And I said, "Well, I know, but I want to talk to you." When he rolled down his window and I saw the boy across the street, you know, that's when I raised my voice, and then I went around and I told him, I told him in Spanish, "As many of y'all as gather here, why can't you go clean up your backyard and take your noise to the backyard?" And the officer got on to me and told me that that was their property and they had a right to do whatever they wanted to. And I said, "Oh yeah." And he said, "And you are jaywalking." And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see the crosswalks in the street." Okay, so anyway, and he told me I better get home. And I said, "Well, I am going back home." I said, "But, you know," I said, "I'm going to call the PD tomorrow. I will call the PD and I'm going to go to, you know, I'm going to talk to the city manager," which I didn't, but I did talk to one of the PD officers this morning, which helped me, and said he was going to check into the city ordinances on the noise and all that. And, you know, it's just, it upset me so much. I had to miss work this morning a couple hours because it gives me anxiety. I have anxiety for one, and we don't appreciate this. And this is not just maybe once a week. Sometimes it's 2 or 3 times a week during the weeknights. And I don't know what's wrong with asking them, why can't they take their noise inside their house or to their backyard? Why is it allowed in the front? And there's been several incidences. And the gatherings, that's what, you know, and then if you go by after, you know, something like this today I went by when I went home, and there's beer cans in the street, of course, trash usually, you know, so I don't know what we can do to ask for a peaceful neighborhood, to have some kind of peace. I don't know what it's going to take. I don't see why it's allowed to gather during the week at 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning to, you know, be noisy. I think maybe if we could get together and maybe suggest that they either go inside their house, wake their mom up, not the neighbors, or go to their backyard where they can keep a little peace in the neighborhood. And all the cars parked inside the yard, it's a mess over there. And I know some of y'all have seen it, but I thank you for listening to me. I know I've only got 3 minutes, and I know I've talked a lot, but you know, I'm just looking for a peaceful, some kind of peaceful situation, some kind of, where we don't have to get to this point. And I appreciate that. Thank you.
Any other public comments?
Good evening, dear Mayor and City Council members. I'm Dr. Dimitri Garcia, and I'm here tonight representing Pecos Rotary regarding the transfer of Golden Girl of the Old West Review and Little Miss Cantaloupe Scholarship Pageant to Rotary. My intent is not to sling mud or create division, but to share Rotary's vision for preserving this cherished community tradition. As Rotarians, we use the four-way test to guide what we think, say, and do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? First, is it the truth? Rotary established Golden Girl in 1963 under its original name, Rotary Rodeo Review, as a scholarship opportunity for local young women. Later on, the companion event, Little Miss Cantaloupe, was similarly established by Rotary. In the early 90s, Rotary transferred management to another organization. With the recent dissolution of the Chamber of Commerce, which occurred without proper notice, published agenda, meeting minutes, or board quorum, Rotary seeks to resume stewardship of this pageant and ensure its future. Second, is it fair to all concerned? It's absolutely fair to acknowledge that in Rotary's absence, dedicated community members stepped up and kept this pageant alive. The past year, the Women's Division President, Golden Girl co-chair ensured the program continued despite challenges. In anticipation of this transition, Rotary has established an oversight committee comprised of Rotarians, community members to ensure the integrity in governance, operations, and financial management. Third, will build goodwill and better friendships. Rotary's strong membership and local presence means that any community member who wishes to participate in this tradition may do so. This is community service at its finest, focused on providing a meaningful opportunity for the young ladies of Pecos. We want to build on what works and strengthens what needs support. Fourth, will be beneficial to all concerned. Through Rotary's established 501c3 status and oversight committee, we can guarantee documented financial transparency, accountable pageant governance, sustainable process for long-term success, and a mission defined by community values. Recent concerns about scoring integrity, financial transparency, and vendor payments demonstrates the need for structured oversight, something Rotary is in a position to provide. Our vision is simple. Make this pageant once again Rotary-sponsored, committee-guided, and community-driven. Rotary is committed to transparency, accountability, and community involvement. We're not seeking to exclude anyone. Rather, we're inviting the community to join us in preserving and strengthening a tradition that has celebrated Pecos' young women for over 60 years. Rotary is ready to lead, and tonight we're letting the community of Pecos know that we intend to once more sponsor, guide, and with community support, drive the Golden Girl of the Old West Review and Little Miss Cantaloupe Scholarship Pageant. We hope for your support in bringing this tradition home. Thank you for your time.
Good evening. I'm Clayton Snyder, and I'm here on behalf of the Reeves County Appraisal District. I'm here, and I've had the pleasure of meeting most of y'all, and thank you for letting us serve you over there at the Appraisal District. So, even Randy. But I've got a proposal for a real estate project here, and I know that y'all are very busy, and y'all will be here very late. I can't even keep up with your YouTube videos half the time because I go to bed. But I will go over this very briefly and then see if y'all have any questions. So the appraisal district basically, ever since we centralized collections again, have been looking for a better facility to facilitate that practice. So the board of directors, Randy being on there, we looked at a lot of different options. New build is not efficient or a good use of taxpayer money. We had several other options. So after careful consideration, what we've come up with is we would like to propose a purchase at 320 South Oak Street. It's right over there. So essentially this project is has a price tag of $800,000. We estimate that there's going to be $122,000 in expenses to set up and facilitate our operations. We expect that we should not need any additional resources. We should have all the funds necessary to do this project with our fund balance. So that's always good. Sorry. Do y'all have any questions?
Can't ask them right now.
Hmm?
We can't.
Okay, well, I'd be happy to answer any questions y'all might have. Leon's got my cell phone. I've talked to Charles a little bit, so please, I'd be happy to come back and do more. But like I said, I know that y'all are busy. Just wanted to get it out there, and thank y'all for your time.
Thank
So.
you. Any other public comments? Okay, we will close public comments at this time. We'll go on to our consent agenda. Approve the minutes of the October 9th, 2025 regular city council meeting. Review the expenditure report and review the PD, ACO, and ESD reports for September 2025.
I have a question. On the September PD call log, I see that there was, looks like 20 noise complaint. What's usually the process? What happens when a concerned citizen calls in a complaint? What do the officers usually,
So
how do they do it?
the response is we go out to the address or the location of where the noise complaint is happening. Of course, with decibel meters, you know what we've been dealing with regards to the noise. We try to address the complaint. If it's just, say, at a residence, we do ask that they lower the music and kind of give them the, if we continue to come out for the same report the same day, some of the offenses that they can be looking at, whether it's disorderly conduct or a noise ordinance. Because there are residents that do on the weekends, they'll have a band or they'll have music in their backyard. And that does happen, you know, and so that's usually what we come out for. You know, unfortunately, a lot of times, like those ladies said, when the officers get there, the music's lowered, the decibel meters are not reading, and so whether it's, we need to look at a process where these ladies as complainants can come in, sign a complaint, they go through municipal court with some sort of complaint process, maybe something that we start to look at.
Like that usually happens. I've been in their same situation where,
Sure.
I mean, you can feel the bass and the music inside the house and call into the PD. And I know you guys are busy dealing with other issues in the community. And
And
as
these
soon
are
as,
important to us as well.
yeah, as soon as they get there, it's like the music is like,
Yeah.
there's nothing, can't hear it anymore. I'm like, oh, if it would have been like 2 minutes before they would have
Sure.
felt the bass. But I like that idea of maybe documenting it in a written complaint and then they can process it.
Now, it is, we do a call sheet or a call report is what it's called, and you will see the complainant information, the time we were dispatched, time the officers get there to the location, and then the time they clear the call. Any other information, there's a notice section where they'll put in who they contacted, what they advised them, and all that's through the radio. So we have it on body cam on the radio as well as written documentation. So, and like with Ms. Flores, we've talked briefly this week about it, and she said there's times where it goes up for just a little bit and then it comes back down. We both agree it's very similar to the train coming through and the whistle and all that. It's briefly and then it's over, but at the same time, it's enough to interrupt their sleep or their, you know, enjoying their own houses as well.
You said that, so, like Mr. Mercer said, you know, call today, call again tomorrow, you gotta start the process all over
All
again?
over again. Yes, sir.
You gotta find a better way that, if it's consistency on the same property, on the same people, one warning, two warnings is enough, even if it's 2 days in a row or, you know, it's.
2 weekends in a row.
Yeah, because I mean, if that's the case, then I'll be quiet today and I'll start up tomorrow again. It's just a repeated cycle that's, they're not winning. They're not getting, the issue's not getting resolved.
Understood, and you know what we need to do is figure out what legally we can do to resolve it, because you should be able to enjoy your home and your property, and if that means you want to put your music where it's not over a limit, but yet it is still disturbing someone, and we gotta figure out a happy medium for everybody, and it's gonna be difficult, like we discussed out here with the trailways. It's in a commercial zone, it's gonna be in their cultural district, but it's also in a residential area. And so those are all things that need to be considered when we look at these. And I know Parker and I talked briefly about some of these instances as well.
Maybe in the neighborhoods, set a time, but when everything's supposed to turn off. You know, I mean, some people are considerate, they know, they look at their clock and they say, okay, I'm gonna lower my music down. Others, well, lack of, I'll say it, proper upbringing, I guess, of being considerate of others. You know, and as Councilman Carrasco's not here, said it last time, maybe we're putting more teeth into this. You know, we have a lot of residents that are bringing up issues, concerning issues, valid issues that need to be addressed.
And like you mentioned, they have a right to, you know, enjoy, have the music. I like to listen to my music pretty loud as well, but there's a point where you have to be considerate of everybody around you, you know, and I think especially if somebody has raised the concerns that, hey, you know, it's bothersome, it's disrupting not just one person in the neighborhood, but if it's consistently other people also, then there needs to be more teeth.
Look at that ordinance.
Ma'am?
Can we do it to cover her deal at 14 Plum, 1400 Plum?
If we're gonna do it, we gotta do it for the whole town.
Yeah, that's
So
what
there
I'm
should be
saying. That's a different noise, but.
No, neighborhood, I know with commercial, we have a difference, we have ordinance already established that. But in the neighborhoods, in the residential, you know, and it's gonna be kinda hard to govern, because what Ms. Gordon is doing. You live in a mixed area where it's residential.
Right there.
Yeah, and so, and I hate not to say your lease, but in the neighborhoods, it's further east, you know. I lived in Fort Stockton, I used to have my big old military speakers for about in the 80s, I would blare my music, but for certain hours, you know to turn it down, but we need to put an ordinance to where everybody, the whole town, and we're not gonna just select here and there, it's just govern the whole town to, you know, turn it down. We're not telling you, like Councilman Hill said, we're telling you, turn it down, turn it off, turn it down.
And I believe there currently is an ordinance, right? It's from certain time to certain time, but whether or not
For
they're
business.
following.
Do we have it for the neighborhoods, or is it more business control?
It's just for the entire town. It's the same regulations.
But the other thing is, if she calls today, as she alluded to, and then the call tomorrow, the process starts all over again. I mean, it's like, you will call today to it, you can't even talk to them, and then tomorrow you get another call to say, but they're doing the same thing. It's gotta be a ticket or something like that. Because if not, it's just broken record.
And that's where I think it would help where these ladies, or whoever is the complainant, come into the municipal court, sign a complaint, and then let the procedures start into the courts.
When the officer shows up there the second or third time, the same people doing it 2-3 different times, do they get just do they get a citation the second or third time, or
There's
just
potential for them to get the citation the second or third time. Usually, when the officers respond, maybe not in the trailways instance, but usually, you know, it'll go down for a little bit. Like Ms. Carrasco said, when officers get there, the music's down.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and so we gotta hear it, we gotta see it. It's something we gotta be able to do in court. With these ladies, as far as it's not hearsay because they're experiencing it, so they can go sign an actual complaint of some sort with municipal.
And it would be
court.
helpful also if other neighbors, if they're experiencing the same thing, it's not just one person versus one-on-one, it's consistent.
So if it's the same, it's the way I think. I'd be going by there every night, just make it a point. You know, if it's an officer have gone before, maybe 2-3 times, I'd be making it a point to be patrolling around that area just to make sure, just to keep them honest. You know, and if we just slap them in the hand, that ain't gonna work. We need to start putting teeth in every ordinance that we have in this community. Because one thing, we're talking about this one, but there's other issues that we have that It's gonna take not only our police officers, sheriff's department, but also our code enforcement to start stepping up and taking care of what needs to be done, because this town has been relaxed too long. It's time, it's changing. And it's gonna take all of us to help out, you know.
Is there an ordinance on a curfew? Do we have a curfew?
No, sir, the curfews were done away with several legislative sessions back, so there's no longer a curfew. And then like with these homes, you know, we gotta figure out whose music is this, who's playing it, or do we just figure out how we can follow on the resident owner, like Mr. Saldana is not playing his music, but his kids are. We're gonna go give you the citation every time? So we gotta figure that out. There's a process. There's gotta be a suspect involved in this. You know, and a lot of you see vehicles with the music loud.
Yeah.
You hear music from the high school where the band is playing, loud, right? You can hear it from a distance. So you're gonna have to really look at how you're gonna put some teeth into this thing. If you wanna develop HOAs for certain neighborhoods, like you're saying, or you wanna cover certain neighborhoods, maybe something to consider or think about.
Thank you.
Hey, Charles, on that fees to Hoffman Associates for Bessie Haynes, that's a study, has it been done yet? Or
Yes, sir.
what's the status?
It's ongoing, Randy. They've had their second community meeting with trying to get the input, and it's part of the process, I think. If Mary Carmen was here, she could give me an exact date, but I think this is continuing through the end of the year, and we should have a firm plan by the first quarter. But it's progressing fairly well. We've had a lot. We've had a significant number of online surveys done. Not as many people showed up to open houses. But a lot of online participation.
Okay, so they're coming online to tell us what they want, or
They're like at this last time, they were given two options for the survey. Just tell us what you like on this plan, what you like on this plan, and they're trying to marry them together so that they can meld it together and come up with a single one that is the most popular and present.
so they're gonna do that till the end of the year?
Yes, sir.
And then we'll get to see the results.
Yes, sir. And it could be the end of November, but I'm throwing the end of the year because I don't want to tell you something too quick. But I think it could be by the end of November we'll have what the presentation is.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any other question? May I make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
Second.
Comment, Gary.
I have a motion from Councilman Arona, a second from Councilman Saldana to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries. We'll go to item F1, oath of office to the 2025-2026 Pecos Youth Advisory Commission officers. It's under Strategic Goal 5, promote open and consistent communication. Griffin Moreland, assistant to the city manager.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm not Griffin Moreland. I'm Edward De Leon, Director of Communications and Public Affairs, also the liaison for the Pecos Youth Advisory Commission. My partner here, Griffin Moreland, the assistant to the city manager's. He's also the liaison for the Pecos Youth Advisory Commission. And today we're excited to introduce and to swear in our new Pecos Youth Advisory Commission officers. So without further ado, I will have Mr. Griffin Moreland swear them in.
If y'all want to take a stand. And if y'all want to kind of line up right here. Yeah, face me.
Can y'all introduce yourselves?
Okay.
What officer?
Yeah. You want to face over here whenever you guys say it?
My name is Aaliyah Jimenez. I'm the president of Pecos Youth Advisory.
What grade are you?
I'm a sophomore in high school.
My name is Bryce Muniz. I am the vice chair of Pecos Youth Advisory, and I'm a sophomore in high school.
My name is Jamie Myers. I'm the treasurer, and I'm in 9th grade.
My name is Eliana Ortega. I'm a 9th grader in high school, and I'm the Pecos Youth Advisory's historian.
My name is Juno Ochoa. I'm a freshman, and I'm a surgeon at arms.
My name is Jalen Aranda. I'm in 8th grade, and I'm the secretary.
All right, so now y'all get to know your new commissioners. All right, so the way this is gonna work is I'm going to say I and your name, and I'll list them all at the same time, and then I will do part of the oath, and then I will say which position you're all in, all at the same time, and then I'll read the rest of the oath. And then when that's all done, you will say, I do. So yes. Or if you don't, then I guess we'll just walk you out. All right, if you want to go ahead and raise your right hand. So I, Aaliyah Jimenez, Brian Muniz, Jalen Arona, Jamie Valles, Eli Ortega, and Julian Ochoa, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of PYAC Chair, PYAC Vice Chair, PYAC Secretary, PYAC Treasurer, PYAC Historian, and PYAC Sergeant at Arms of the state of Texas, and will do the best of my ability to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state. So help me God.
I do.
I do. Congratulations.
I'd like to add something real quick. For those who do not know what a Pecos Youth Advisory Commission is, they're an organization under the town of Pecos City made of 6 to 12 graders who do a lot of volunteering work. They do a lot of city learning. They get to know how a city operates and all that. Again, just in a lot of community service projects, as I mentioned. They've already done some. We've been at the nursing home, we've done the cleanup, and we've done another cleanup. We've done 2 cleanups already, and then we're gearing up to do our Thanksgiving meal drive. So again, here's our Pecos Youth Advisory Commission.
Citizens also, because we don't get to do it very often, today is Edward's birthday, so.
So they learn how the city works and stuff?
Yes, sir.
Can Griffin join them?
That's how come he's a liaison right now.
Hey guys, learn to speak up. Let your voices be heard. And here in front, everywhere you go, speak up and speak up for what is right, for what you believe is true and right. And change the world for us, for the
Yep.
better.
Thank you so much for being involved, guys.
Thank
Very
you.
proud of you.
Okay, at this time, we're going to go to item F11. Discuss, consider amending the employee handbook to include a retiree survivor benefit policy for Cobra Insurance, strategic goal 6, sound governance and physical management. This is brought up from Councilwoman Trujillo, but I think we have Joe Denton with Blue Cross Blue Shield on the phone. Are you there?
Yeah, to unmute it.
I am here.
Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So, Cyrus, do you want me to share the email that I sent you with the responses?
Yes,
Or
please.
do you want me to share my screen with the email?
If you can share your screen, please.
Okay,
Thank you.
sure. So, let's see if I can pull up. Can you all see that?
Barely.
Barely?
Yeah.
All right, bear with me. Let me,
63 years old.
Oh, it's better. Let's get there. Okay, we lost it.
is this any better?
Could you just,
I guess if you could just read it.
And
and we'll
as I was
just-
saying, if you'd like to just go over it.
Sure.
yeah.
Well, I apologize for this. So, yeah, my name is Joe Denton. I'm actually with Acrisure, and I've had the pleasure of working with the town of Pecos City for many years. And Syra asked me about retiree coverage and what options could be available. And I went to, so I provided some answers here. And the question being, is it possible that we could provide a plan for post-employment retirees who were under age 65 and not yet eligible for Medicare, and also for retired employees that were over age 65, Medicare supplement or other options like that. And so I am going to address that, and I do have someone who was actually years ago participated in open enrollments with me and enrolled out of Pecos City employees. His name is Myron Burnell, and some of the employees may recognize him when they see him or hear from him if you want to utilize his services. But to go into this, one of the questions was, can the group basically extend medical insurance benefits at employer rates of a retiree or deceased employee for up to 6 months after retiree date or death. This gives them time to apply for Medicaid, Medicare, personally buy individual insurance. This can be offered after Blue Cross has created a retiree class. My Blue Cross representative on that has spoken about adding this, and unfortunately, the retiree class can only be added at renewal, which will be October 1 of 2026. So our plan just renewed October 1 of 2025, but next year we can add a retiree class, and anyone that retires on October 1st, 2026 or later will have access to retiree benefits. And in terms of the cost of the benefits, the city can determine what the contribution is towards the retiree's insurance, including the dependents that are still on the plan. So that can be offered, but we cannot add that until this time next year. Any questions regarding that question?
Would that come under the classification of a COBRA plan?
The retiree, actually, we can create a retiree, and if the city basically would provide documentation for retirees and what that would entail, if the premiums were going to be paid or partially, because the employees, retired employees and their family members, until they reach age 65, would still be on the same group health plan that the active employees would be on. So it would not be COBRA at that point. They would still be on the group insurance. And the rates for the retiree class would also be the exact same rates as the active employee rates.
But this would just be for 6 months. Up to 6 months.
Well, that's what we looked at here. Yeah.
So I'm sorry, this is Councilwoman Trujillo, and I had originally put this on the agenda for discussion. My concern was for not so much the retirees, because they are able to make that decision and they've enacted whichever policy is currently best for them and for their families. My concern was more making sure that their dependents, their surviving spouses, in case of death, that they would be protected for at least 6 months before their policy ended. I feel that if they're retired, they've already made that kind of long-term planning. So my concern was for the spouse or dependents that are kind of left in the dark or kind of left to fend for themselves afterwards. So I think there's some confusion on that part. So I just want to make sure that the surviving spouse and dependents are taken care of before just, being cut off from their insurance. That's what my concern is.
Yes, so, yeah, absolutely. So thank you, Councilwoman Trujillo, for explaining that. It looks like, that is covered on question number 2 about a surviving spouse.
Okay.
And family members. So, the surviving spouse and other family members would still have to be covered as dependents on the retiree plan. Because if you're not covered on the retiree's health insurance, there would not be access to COBRA. So we would have to add this class, and in the event that the retiree did pass away, then COBRA would be extended to the family member survivors of the retiree, and due to death, they can have COBRA for up to 36 months. So that can be done. But again, they're going to have to be tied to the retiree and still be on the group health insurance at the time the retiree passes away to be eligible for the COBRA.
Or, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be a retiree that dies. If we have an employee that dies suddenly, if his dependents are, I mean, he already has his spouse and dependents on there, then they will continue to be covered. Correct?
At that point, that they would have access to COBRA.
Okay.
Yes, they would have access to COBRA at that point. And the town of Pecos City could subsidize that, again, depending on the terms. That would all be spelled out in the plan document. And Acrisure, company I work with, we have a lot of on-staff benefit attorneys that would assist with drafting any documents. And that would also be included in the Blue Cross certificate of insurance once the retiree class was created.
So that was my next question, was if the city could subsidize a portion of that, even to give them 6 months at least for them to be able to decide what the long-term best policy would be for them to find coverage. I know it's an existing life event with most marketplace insurances, or maybe they need to seek employment with somebody else, but I want to make sure that the city can provide some sort of assistance to an existing employee or retiree. I see that that's something that, so if we decide to enact this change to our policy, we can't do anything until next October, is that correct?
That's correct, and I have an email from a Blue Cross representative at the bottom of this. We went to underwriting, and she has confirmed that the retiree option can only be added at renewal. And again, once it is added, October 1 of 2026, any retiree was eligible under that class after October 1 would have access to the retiree benefits, which basically would be the same as if they were actively working. And yes, the employer could subsidize that. Quite often in situations like that, there is some language that is spelled out regarding if it was going to be a 6 month financial subsidy. It is spelled out and usually paid in a lump sum.
Is the 6 month deal, say, kicks in, and after the 6 months, can they go to the COBRA?
Yeah, they could, and they would pay 100% of the COBRA premiums.
After 6 months.
After 6 months.
If that's what the terms of the agreement were, that is correct.
So it's
So at this point-
negotiated in our agreement next October, okay.
Yeah.
My
Yeah, so
my
at
only
this
issue,
point-
sorry, my only issue with that is, death is it's unplanned, you know what I mean? I would hate for somebody to fall through the cracks from now until next October, and in a perfect world, I know we can't predict the future. I just want to make sure that there's reassurance into our existing employees and our retirees that if something happens, that we're gonna have their backs for their existing spouses and their families. I don't want there to be any
Yeah.
question about, well, I hope you don't die from any time until October of 2026.
Unfortunately, I'm not able to amend the policy sooner than that. So, this is a fully insured contract, and there are some limitations, and we're not able to change that language off renewal, off the policy anniversary.
Is there an additional policy that the city could possibly look into? Or is it that window is closed, I guess? I guess that's more of a question for HR also.
Under our current policy though, doesn't COBRA kick in until next year?
If they have it.
Cobra would be eligible to any employee unless they were terminated for just cause. They would have eligibility for Cobra because the benefits terminate the last day of the month that the employee is still employed. At that point, there is a trigger that they would have a Cobra eligibility letter to determine whether or not they wanted to sign up for Cobra. And they would have a 60-day window in which to fill out the proper documents and submit that. At which time, if the city subsidized the premium, then what the city could do is essentially say, hey, we're going to continue your coverage. You know, you still have to elect it to protect the city, so you have the documentation. And with that documentation, if you are going to extend Cobra for 6 months, then when you pay because there is a portion of the invoice that is separate unless Cobra participants, the city could pay that separate Cobra invoice for those individuals for the first 6 months. And then after that, it would be the former employee's responsibility. If they wanted to continue Cobra, and they would pay 102% of the current premium. There's a 2% surcharge for Cobra administration.
Like City of Dallas, like they provide the first 2 months of Cobra fully paid by the city. So that gives them a little cushion, a little bit of time to get prepared to get a plan in place instead of just cutting them off.
I will say that is very easy to do. In that case, because there is 2 months of Cobra fully paid by the city, you could do that because there is a 60-day election period that the employee can select Cobra, and while they're in that window, we can move it to Cobra, but you all can still pay 100% of their premium for the first 2 months. If you wanted to extend that, entirely up to you. Right now, we have a blank canvas. There are some limitations that we have just based on the size that we are, and we're fully sure. But the items that you mentioned in here can absolutely do. We have the opportunity to create what makes sense for the council and the city.
I think that 2 months, if the city could help out and, it just gives the surviving spouse a chance to kind of regroup and get situated after
Not having to
Like
worry
not
about
having-
it.
Yeah.
Not having to worry about something
During
like
that
that.
time.
Yeah.
We got one
Yeah.
quick question. Do y'all administer the life insurance?
Yes, sir. I was going to speak to that. Over the years, I've been working with the city probably between 12 and 15 years. And the city does purchase a basic life and accidental death and dismemberment on employees. And we have had a number of employees or spouses during that time pass away. We also assist with making sure that the life insurance beneficiary, all the paperwork is submitted with the death certificate, and if there are funeral arrangements that need to be handled or paid for in the interim, we've helped employees assist with that if they, for a proceeding with proper burial. And we do help with all of that. Typically, a life insurance claim, unless there is a reason they're going to investigate, can be paid normally within 3 weeks once a death certificate, a certified death certificate with a seal on it, is provided along with the beneficiary documentation and the claim form. So it's a pretty quick turnaround, but in the interim, during this first 2 months, that's a radical life change. A radical life change.
Yeah.
Not having to worry about the insurance would be a blessing to anyone.
Yep.
I guess on
I
these
know all
policies that you have, that we have, say they retire, and then does it stop when they retire, or can they go ahead and pay for it after they retire on that life insurance policy?
Basic life insurance, upon termination or separation, it does go away. You have to be actively working to have the basic life insurance.
Even if the employee's paying for 100%, it goes away.
Well, there is a conversion. There is a conversion option that the employee has, and they would convert to an individual plan and not have the same group rates, which are highly discounted, because there's some younger employees and children and everything covered on the plans that help reduce the premiums for the older population. They can convert it. They work directly with Guardian, and they're going to basically have an individual plan, and the premiums are going to go up. And that conversion option is available to anyone, whether they're retired or if they just quit. They're 40 years old and they quit, or they move on. They can still convert their basic life insurance to an individual policy, like I said.
But how much of a percentage does it go up?
Significantly. Significantly. Because
it goes up 100%, because right now the
in
city
most
covers up
cases,
to 200,000.
in most cases, when the individual hears what the conversion premiums are, and it's normally taken because an employee can no longer qualify for other life insurance due to health conditions. I'll give you an example. I have a client who had a gentleman that he went out on disability. He had bone cancer. And in order for him to continue his life insurance that was paid for by his employer, was $100,000, the premiums were going to cost him and his family $6,000 per year. So, because, again, they're not asking health questions, and they know if you're going to extend it, chances are it's because you can't get life insurance anywhere else. So, there is also voluntary life insurance that is paid for by the employee, and they also have the ability to take that with them and convert that as well. Pardon me?
No, I just want some calculation.
Said
We're
it's
doing
five,
some-
that,
we're doing some.
$6,000 is $500 a month. That's significant.
For somebody that's gonna be,
Especially if someone's on disability and they're only getting 60% of their wage.
Right.
You know, so, yeah, it's I hate to say it, I've been in the insurance industry for 35 years, and it's, all insurance companies agree, period. And they know that, if they want to pay that 100,000 claim, no, we're gonna make it unattainable for the common person to be able to afford. And sadly, it goes away. So, but that is not Guardian, that is not MetLife, that is just the industry.
let me ask you this, providing up to 2 months of COBRA. Can you give us a cost of that, correct? What it would cost the city?
I can tell you exactly what it is. It would be, if the employee was employee only, it would be whatever the employee only rate is, plus 2%.
Okay.
So depending on, let's say they were on the health savings account plan, and the premium was $700 a month for the employee only. Then that would be, $700 plus 2%, which would be $14. It would cost the city $714 a month for that employee.
I was thinking of maybe stretching it out to 3 months.
It's your discretion. And that's the thing right now, while you're designing this. If you want to make it 3 months, you can.
But we can't change that till October of next year.
You cannot implement a retiree class until October 1, 2026. It has to be done on a policy anniversary.
Okay.
So we have a lot of time to work on that verbiage.
Yes.
Yeah, and I've been in the employee benefit arena. I used to work for a company like Blue Cross. I've been in the industry since 1990. I've written a chapter in a book I was asked to write about industry and where the industry is heading. So I'm a forward-thinking individual, and my advocacy is to protect every single client. The best benefits at the lowest cost. But when building a retiree class, we want to be very sensitive again to the needs, the budget, and certainly taking care of employees and their survivors. And you do have the opportunity to draft it how you want it. And our legal team would, again, make sure the language suits what you're trying to accomplish. And we would write that into the Blue Cross policy.
Joe, I got a little bit, this is Charles, I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Just to see where we're at, without creating the retirement class, if we do that next October, right now, currently, what are the options? Let's say that one of our current employees passed away. We have the employee life insurance. Are his dependents entitled to COBRA and carried on even though the current employee is deceased?
For the life insurance? Or
No, for the health insurance.
Yeah, so right now, they would have access to COBRA.
Okay,
Still, right now.
So right now, if mayor and council chose, we could internally subsidize that program before the policy came into play, correct?
Yes, and what I would recommend is that our attorneys.
Yes, sir. But if we if mayor and council chose to pay the COBRA benefits at the current period of time for up to 3 months,
yes, sir.
As long as
that can be done today.
As long as the payment is done, it can be done today, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah, they don't care
That's fine.
who it comes from.
Yes,
as long as they
as long
get
as
it.
it's paid. And I
That's
just
why I
want
wanted
to
to
make sure
clarify.
that
Thank you, Charles.
our city employees know an unexpected event.
Yeah. So.
That we got less thing to worry about.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Yeah, if you're going to implement something like that, that is a material change. And I know you do, you share information with employees and about benefits and other items on a regular basis. That would be something that I would post you know, in break rooms or wherever, you know, over at the jail or wherever the, you know, the main office, is to post that. And also to send out something to the employees in writing, you know, important, and to let them know, make them aware of it. Any other questions regarding that?
I think we got it.
I think that's it. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And as I mentioned, I do have a Medicare expert who worked with us for 20 plus years. And he is truly a broker. He's very responsive. He handles, I don't know if you remember Roger Staubach, football player. Roger Staubach had a real estate company. And he had a lot of friends working for him that were eligible for Medicare, age 65. Myron, who works with our Medicare clients, he wrote all the Medicare supplements for Roger Staubach's employees when they retired and he sold the company. So he is an expert. He, if it was good enough for Roger Staubach, right?
Should be good enough for us? Okay.
Yeah, so, but thank you, council. Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Syra and Mr. Dana. If you need anything else, let me know.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
You bet. Have a good evening.
Uh-huh.
Bye-bye.
You know, Charles, you mentioned posters, postings, and letters. I think it'd be good to cover that. Plus, I mean, with your department heads and your staff, go over and make sure that we cover all the bases on it, and that everybody understands what's going on.
And what direction do we have on it? What period is council recommending?
3 months. I think 3 months. Any thoughts, ideas?
3 months sounds good.
And I'm asking because it is a discussed consider item, so y'all can make the motion to get it.
I'll make a motion that we go back to that we amend the employee handbook to include the 3-month COBRA supplement or coverage to be paid by the city as presented.
Okay. I have a motion from Councilwoman Trujillo, a second from Councilman Arona to amend the employee handbook to include a COBRA insurance coverage of 3 months. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries. And I thank y'all for your patience. We'll go to item F2, update on past and upcoming events for the 2025 at the Cyclone Ballpark. Strategic Goal 5, promote open and consistent communication. Thomas Ward, Cyclone Ballpark's General Manager.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Thomas Ward, GM for Cyclone Ballparks. Happy to be here, share some information. I just wanted to start off by saying I do commend Council for thinking of their employees and really trying to take care of them. I've worked a couple other places that it never even is considered. So I do commend y'all for that and for wanting to take care of your people, especially if something does happen. As of course we don't want it to happen at all. So today I was asked to come and share some information about some events we've had in the last month or so, as well as some stuff we have coming up. I believe I also shared an event recap with you. You all should have in your packet, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So we'll be kind of going through some of that as well if you have any questions. A couple of key things I wanted to point out from our October concert, the Beats at the Ballpark, featuring, I apologize if I butcher this, I'm not good at Spanish and I apologize, Los Pescadores del Rio Conchos and La Feria del Bravo. They were out there, had a great event. We had 231 total scan-ins for our ticketing system. 54 of those were travel, so that was people outside of Pecos, and I even included outside of Monahans. I really wanted to know who actually came here. Some of the most intriguing ones that I saw was we had El Paso, San Antonio. There was someone from up past Lubbock that came down, so we had some good travel for this event. A couple other things I wanted to share with y'all. We had an estimated total economic impact of about $12,500, just under that. For this one night event, we were pretty happy with that. Obviously, we want to see more, and I know you all want to see more, so we're going to continue to grow and expand and see what else we can do. We had a labored revenue percent of 17%. This is specifically related to food and beverage. This is a number we care about a lot. Our goal is 20% or less. So for that, we're really happy with how that number came out. We staffed it appropriately. We didn't overstaff, we didn't understaff. We hit it right on the nose and turned a good profit because of it on that side of things. We did have a per capita spending of the people who came at $31.75. So that means when they came, they spent $31 a person. And that does not include their ticket. That is just on food and beverage. So their tickets were $55 to $70 a person, depending on if they bought them early or if they bought them late. There were some people that we gave out free tickets, as we did do some advanced marketing with giveaways, radio giveaways. We went around town, even came here to City Hall in case any of y'all stopped by. We gave out some free tickets around town, really encouraging people to come out and have a good time. In terms of the event itself, we had a very smooth event. I do have to say thank you and share my appreciation to Pecos PD and the Reeves County ESD for providing their support with officers on site and EMTs personnel stationed on site should there be any issues. I can happily and safely report that we had 0 incidents. Everybody came in, had a good time, and left peacefully. We were supported from our home office with this event. We had Scott Heron. He is an SFC food and beverage consultant. His job is to go to venues and take a look at their food and beverage operations and say, how can we do better? So we've been working with him closely this past couple of months. He came out to the concert, really saw how we could continue to make those improvements, and he helped us keep that F&B labor percentage to 17%. We also were supported by our regional finance manager, Misty Burnell. She was out visiting to kind of see the operation. She works with another of our baseball venues, Ballparks of America. So she was helping take a look at what we're doing and the logistics of how we were operating to see if there's any improvements we can make, as well as make sure our cash handling procedures are up to date and following safe procedures there. Both were very impressed with the facility, with the logistics, and we're very happy with how we made things work. I was personally stunned that I didn't have to run around like a chicken with my head cut off. I was very happy about that because I know sometimes with concerts and alcohol there can be some of those situations. So I applaud this community for coming out, having a good time, and causing no problems. We had great feedback from the community. A lot of people we talked to as they were leaving the event and overheard as they were leaving had a great time. They expressed their content and how happy they were with what they came to do. We also, just going around town the past couple of weeks, me, my staff, all of us, anytime someone sees us wearing our Cyclone stuff, they're stopping us and talking about it. Just today, we went to Dickey's Barbecue and had several employees mention it. So they've also shared that they're excited for the next one. So hopefully we'll be able to bring some more stuff in and really fine tune what these concert series can be here at Cyclone. My supervisor, Jessica, also visited the week after. We reviewed the event. We talked about the operation, about some of the improvements we can make, where we can really focus our attention now that we know we have a good product. How can we make it even better and turn that into the profit driving force that we want? She will also be returning on November 4th with Dennis Kibbe, our SFC controller, to come visit, talk about what else we can do as we go into part 2 of quarter 1 for fiscal year 2026. Otherwise, we overall had a revenue of $21,236. We did have a $50,000 investment into this to try and drive that attendance, drive that visit. And so we did end up losing $28,887 overall. That is offset slightly by that economic impact, of course, to the city. And of course, that's where we want to really drive how can we make improvements. So our focus going forward is going to be really bring down the cost of the artists, drive more events that drive more people, because obviously they're coming, they're spending, they're having a good time, we're hitting the other metrics. We want to increase that attendance so we can increase that revenue as well. Is there any questions regarding the concert? I'd be happy to answer them.
How did you market it?
Yeah. So we did a lot of marketing for this. We put flyers around at 30 different locations. Probably more than that because we worked with a hotel group, Palette Hotels, and they shared it out to all of their hotels in the region. So we hit 30 plus, probably 40 locations with physical flyers alone. We also did radio and interview spots, hitting radio stations all the way from here in Pecos to Marfa, Marathon, Odessa Midland, Hobbs, New Mexico, Fort Davis, Presidio, and Alpine. On our paid media side of things, we use social media advertisements to really target people specifically. I know I was, playing just some random mobile game, and I was actually on vacation in Fredericksburg, and it popped up for me with the concert. So I know it worked for me at least. But we overall had 85,000 reach with paid media, which was equated to 220,000 views, 3,743 link clicks, 488 likes, and 105 shares. We don't know the numbers on the shares. We can't get that information, unfortunately, through social media, but we know 105 people shared it out to all the people that they know about. On organic, just us naturally posting, talking about what's going on, we had another 23,481 reach, 279 more likes, and 95 shares. This reach was 108,000 people, so this was individual people that saw the information. They saw it, and like I said, we had about 3,743 that directly clicked on the link. That doesn't include anyone who scanned the QR code or visited via another route.
You had costs for marketing, but I don't see it on the cost for marketing.
Yes, so the cost for marketing was built into our overall budget. We don't do the marketing necessarily by event. We budget our marketing based on all the events we have coming up. So we spent about $5,000 in marketing across the board for stuff we have coming up. A lot of that with this specifically.
Who decided on what band or what?
Yeah, so we.
Where was the market study prior to deciding to pay? What was it?
It was $40,000 for the band.
$40,000 for the band. Who decided that?
Yeah, so we reached out to different people in the community, kind of started asking the question of who would they like to see. We got feedback saying, our Norteño band would be great. Everyone brought up Los Pescadores as, hey, this is one of the best in the region. So we contacted them via a gentleman by the name of George. He works with J&J Production Company. So he provided the production for the event. That's $5,000 of the on the production cost there. He provided the production and the collaboration with the actual Azteca music group that we ended up reaching out to and talking with about getting the artist out.
You came way short of the projected 700.
Yes.
Way short. That, it's music. If you find the right genre for the right people or the right crowds, very finicky nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Would you consider this a success?
I see parts of it as a success. Obviously, losing money is not a success. But I see the logistics side of things, how we operated the actual event, as a success. I also think the public awareness that we can be this type of venue for them, whether or not they want to rent it or if we're putting something on, building that trust in that community, because we had a lot of people that came and said, this is great, I had a great time, I didn't know this was here. So we built that awareness that if we're here doing events and programs for the community and for everyone that wants to
We
come.
could have done that for a lot less than $28,000 less. That's the loss. That could have been done.
And you're saying that people didn't know, so that means we're lacking in advertising and putting it out there, which should have been done 2 years ago, 3 years ago. We shouldn't have anybody not knowing we're here.
Yeah. And that's why we have Bryant, our new marketing manager that came on with us this year. He's been working very hard at that.
Bryant today. He's not here.
He's at the ballpark right now. Yeah.
So prior to him, we've had you guys for 2 years.
Yeah.
That was the main driver of my choice of you guys, is to put this thing on the map.
Mm-hmm.
Still not where it needs to be.
Of course, and like I said, that's why we brought in other people, and we have a whole new team that is trying to make that happen. Yeah.
We're running behind. So I can say we're running behind.
Did you have any fall tournaments in October this month?
We had a small tournament before the Memorial Tournament with the CJ Gomez Legacy Field. So we did have a tournament that paired up with our Oktoberfest that we hosted this month.
How was the attendance for Oktoberfest?
We had about 100 guests attend the Oktoberfest. That was outside of the actual tournament. Now, there was some overlap of people that were there for the tournament that then came to Oktoberfest, but we did have about 100 attendants.
So did we actually announce in our radio station here, our newspaper, about the concert and all that?
Yeah.
I mean, it was reached like that?
Yeah, we put it everywhere here. We even the billboard over by United Supermarkets, we had the billboard there. We're actually, today, we've updated it to be for the Christmas tree lighting and the information relating to that.
Did we communicate with like Edward, that's our communication, the guy that worked for us, you know, where he could have helped you promote even more?
And he did share it out. Anytime we had something he posted it, he was sharing it out, yes.
Because, you know, one of the things, as long as we had this, we're still missing the mark. I mean, it's, you know, Pecos is a totally different, I mean, we're sitting in the middle of nowhere. So the marketing has to be very aggressive, and it doesn't mean email. Sometimes you have to go door to door to businesses for anything, for any event, not just this kind of, you know, concert and all that. And I know you gave us some numbers of, you know, how, because now everybody's in social media, and that's great. But the only reason I knew this is because I'm part of the board, and so somewhere it got dropped by somebody. And you know, it's disappointing to see the numbers. The operation is great if everything went great, but the operation can be great in a lot of things, but the business that we're in is the business of making money. We spent a $40 million investment in this thing, and we're looking for the when we will climb over this hill, and not knocking you down or anything, but you know, we're missing it somewhere, and and I can't tell you how, because I'm not out there every day.
Yeah, and that's
in your business. I'm out there as a participant of different events, but you know, it's disappointing that I saw the flyers and I saw all this, and I can tell you the truth. I don't know this band. I wouldn't pay to go see it because I don't know it. I'm from a different era, and but it's still disappointing that to hear that some of our community, they don't know that we have this thing out there. It's pretty sad. So either we're missing it through our Facebook and all of that from the city, from you guys, and that's all. I mean, you know, this is something that we, I mean, $40 million investment. Geez, it's mind-boggling. I mean, you know, I think like when we do the all night in Pecos, it's all out, and it is crowded. It's a different event, but it's been going on for a long time. And this one may be just one of those, but still, we've been at it. We built that thing in 2019, 2020. Here we are, 2025, and we're still not capturing what we thought we would. And that's where it bothers me.
So I have a question. Who runs the social media?
For Cyclone, Brian is responsible for that.
So I'm on here right now, and I had been on the Cyclone website previously, and for the potential and the amount of money that has gone into that park, the social media it's not where it needs to be. It's still showing, hey, come to this concert that already happened. There's no pictures of anybody local participating, anything else that's happened remotely in the past year.
Do you mind if I take a look so I can see what you're seeing? Because
Yeah.
I went on it today, and you're on our website. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm on the website and you look up and you're like, oh, this
Okay.
happened, and
That's-
it's just very,
okay.
there's nothing that's, hey, let's go out to the site, hey, there's
And yeah, and the website is one of those areas that we are working on. We have been working with our home office to do a rebrand. We've actually spoke with Savannah from the CVB about some options that we can do that incorporate the CVB and us together, and how we can incorporate better promotion of stuff on our website. So
It's the
I will
same
definitely.
pictures from, there's nothing new.
I will definitely take that, and we will get that updated. Yeah. Yeah.
Do I have plans to do another one? And when?
Right now, the next budgeted concert would be in March of next year. We wanted to get plenty of time, that way we could actually fully evaluate this one before trying to do another one. And that's where we can go, okay, we spent too much on the band, so let's cut that back. We had a good operation. Is there anywhere else that we can make improvements? Can we, is there different food options, drink options that people are looking for? As you said, is there better ways for us to market it? So taking what we learned from this one and going, okay, let's do it better for the next one.
But be a little bit more conservative with the numbers of attendees. That way, if you get close to it or surpass it, then look negative.
Yeah.
To me, it's very negative. Very negative.
But it can be done because Valentine, y'all been to Valentine, they have a bash every year on Valentine's Day, and it's packed. And they have a band. We had Jerry Jeff Walker there one year, and they have some good Toronto bands in El Paso, and it's packed. So I know they get the word out somehow. So it can be done.
Yeah.
Okay, so your next big thing at Cyclone Ballparks is going to be Christmas tree lighting?
Yes. That's the next large scale event. We do have some, local programs and things like that going on in between, and some tournament events, but those are going to be smaller ones, 10 to 15 teams. But the next big event would be the tree lighting. Yeah.
Are we ready for that?
We are in that planning process at this moment in time. I feel very confident in where we're at. I think we're better off than we started last year. And we are having those meetings and having those discussions. I've already talked with Rotary about getting to one of their meetings. That way I can talk about the plans that we have in place.
The fireworks have already been ordered.
Yep. We are setting up the tree at this moment in time, actually. The staff are working on that today, so we can get all of our decor up, have it all ready to go, plenty of time for the event.
I can't believe it's the end of October almost.
I know.
I know.
I can't believe it. We're talking
It's gone by
about
fast.
the tree lighting again.
Yep.
Well, it will be December the 2nd, so.
Yep, so that actually was my kind of next set of stuff, was we have the tree lighting coming up on December 2nd. We have a new tree and new lights this year. So in the past, we had been contracting that out in order to save money over the long term. Instead of contracting out, we bought stuff ourselves, and we're going to reduce how much we're spending each year so that we can just maintain our lights, buy some new stuff each year, and that long-term savings is what we're going for. So we've taken care of that. We also, I just talked with Mr. Lino today about the stuff we were renting. The vendor has actually offered that to us, and we had already planned to buy more Christmas stuff. So we're going to use the funding for that more Christmas stuff to go ahead and buy those things at a severely reduced cost, which will only supplement what we have and give us even more decor out there. The staff were, like I said, working on setting up the tree today. They're very excited about it. Our facility maintenance manager, Tommy, he was actually instrumental in creating the Odessa drive-through experience that they have. So he's very excited to be able to do that here and do it really well. So we're excited to see kind of how that develops over time. But this first year, we're very excited with all the new lights. So no dull lights, no broken lights. It's all going to be brand new. With that, we'll also be utilizing the new plaza building and that area around there. There's no construction fence this time. We're not having to squeeze onto that part of the facility because that's all gone. So we'll be able to use that facility to its fullest. We have plans for lots of activities, lots of games. That pre-show entertainment we did last year, which was really well received, as well as giving people things to do, in a few different spots, helps spread out the crowd, give them that ease of access coming in and an ease of access going out whenever they're ready to leave. With that, we did last year make changes to the traffic plan that I hope, if y'all not aware, what we did is we had the general public come in along Tolliver Street, the new street by the rec, and we had VIPs and staff come in along the main entry off of 116, if I remember correctly. So we're going to continue to do that this year. The chief has already said that worked really well last year. She's shared that information from her officers. So we're going to implement a very similar plan this year so that people, when they're coming, they're not waiting in line. They can get in, they can park, they can go straight in, enjoy the festivities, and whenever they're ready to leave, they can get back in their cars and head out without any issues. So we're very excited for that. The additional parking on site is great for that as well. And I think we're going to have a really great event this year. Any questions regarding Christmas tree? I also did want to share real quick with the Christmas tree. We will be supported by Christine McCollum from our home office. She's helped with the last couple of events, helps with planning them, helped get me up to speed last year because she'd been here previously, so that we could make sure we're doing a good job with that event. She's going to be back out here to support that. We also have Chip Fontanaza. He is the marketing director for SFC, so he's going to be out here so he can help us make sure that not only are we marketing beforehand, so he's going to be supporting us the entire time before, but also getting good shots, getting B-roll footage, things like that that we can use to promote for future years, which I think is unfortunately something we have been lacking, as you mentioned. We have been lacking that previous footage to be able to use to promote future things. So we are making that change, and we're going to be working with him to make sure that we have that going forward. Last thing I wanted to share with you is we also have 2 contracted events for December. Both are expecting around 30 plus teams. One is a baseball event the first weekend of December, which will also be kind of a the tournament director is doing a fundraiser for a kid that plays in their tournaments that has cancer, and they're doing a Toys for Tots as part of that as well. So we're going to be helping support those initiatives. And then the second weekend is going to be a fast pitch softball tournament hosted out there. So we're very excited for those to come in. Those have been contracted, deposits, and they will be giving us a portion of the gate fee as people come in. We are also here in November going to be going over to a tournament in Midland. There's a gentleman that puts on an adult softball tournament there. He has expressed interest in moving his event here to Pecos. So we're going to go talk with him, see what he's got, and talk about how we can bring him over here. He's very interested. And we're excited to bring that 60-team tournament over here next year. Lastly, I hope to see y'all here on November 1st out at Cyclone Ballparks for our pink run. I know Edward's been working very hard from the city to get that ready on his side of things. We're happy to support that and provide assistance in terms of staffing and logistics. So we're very happy to be a part of that again this year. It's going to be a great time. Participants will also be getting a coupon. That evening, we're going to be doing a trivia night, and participants will get some money off of their food when they come back for the trivia night that evening. So we're excited to support a great cause and then give people some fun things to go do on Saturday night. Any other questions for me? Well, I thank y'all for your time. Charles obviously knows how to get a hold of me. Y'all can get a hold of me anytime. If you have any other questions, please let me know. But otherwise, my next update will have some more exciting information about the tree lighting. So I'm excited to share that with you. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, we'll go on to item F3, discuss, consider resolution 25-10-04R, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a purchase agreement with Core and Main for material to perform repairs at the booster pump station at the cost of $201,043.31. Strategic 07, enhance Pegasus infrastructure network. Jose Luis Delgado, utility superintendent.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. I am Jose Luis Delgado, utility superintendent. I will to explain the resolution and how the water flows from the field to the city of Pecos. We have 2 water fields. One is some water field. All the water, the raw water, the water was produced, sent to or goes to the blending tanks for gravity lines. Another water field that we have is water field. The water field produces the raw water and goes to the pump station on the water field for gravity. But we need to pump the water on that pump or that field to the blending tank. The problem with this bypass, the material, the fittings is very old. I think it's 20 years. It's the original parts when they come from the bypass. The problem with the water field produce 60%. The soil workshop produce the 40. We need to have a good check the pumping station in the bypass in order to pump the water to the blending tanks. Blending tank receive from the boiled water fields, so works on the water, and goes to the city yard drum tanks for gravity. It's necessary to replace the fittings because the most of the water field cover the city demand. You can see in the photograph in your iPad, you can see the condition for the 90s couplings, for everything. It's the original part. In order to prevent emergency, we need to replace that part. That project is in the budget for this fiscal year. We are presenting this project as soon as possible because the fittings take 4-6 months to get it, and next year the price is changing. If we buy this material this year, we can save money.
I just have one question. Why did you go with the lowest bid but went with the second lowest bid?
The lowest bid, I don't trust on him. It's the first time they participate. The other vendors, we know the vendors.
Okay.
We eliminate the lowest and the high, and we choose only the between vendors. And the two vendors is the lowest is 201,000. Is the reason we eliminate the high and the lowest.
I make a motion we approve that.
I'll second.
I have a motion from Councilman Arona, a second from Councilwoman Trujillo to approve Resolution 25-10-04R as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries.
Thank you.
Item F4, discuss, consider approving the purchase of a full medical flight membership through AirMed Care Network for Town of Pecos City staff for a total amount not to exceed $55,000. Strategic Goal 6, sound governance and fiscal management. Bud Rivera. I remember this time.
Good evening. Thank you, Mayor. Does anybody have any specific questions for me, either council or attendees? If you go through with this, I'll be available all day tomorrow and up until Wednesday. And I'm dedicating this weekend, hopefully, to work with our first responders to make sure they're covered and processed through by Wednesday. That way it goes into effect November 1. So I'll get with our chief here in a minute, and I guess you can count on me for working the weekend.
So this doesn't have to be under our coverage, October 1st coverage date.
It doesn't.
It's a supplemental.
Well, it's not insurance, it's a membership.
Yeah,
so it's,
yeah, membership.
Yes, and what you got, this is different. This is what our employees currently have the opportunity to sign up for. It's called NASA. The city does not pay any portion of that. It's totally elected by the employees.
Okay.
So the difference between us and NASA is a third party, and they have zero assets. We have a base here, and you guys are a bird every day. They'll charge you, and then we'll charge them, and it's not to the advantage of the employee or whomever actually signs up for NASA eligibility or coverage in their perspective.
So y'all should have Mr. Rivera's plan information in your packets.
So the massa coverage, the hard copy is what the city currently has.
This is what we currently have.
This is what the employees currently have.
Okay.
And there's no cost to the city
The employee pays.
Yeah, that's payroll deduction.
But this other one, the city would cover it for
For three.
whoever signs up for it.
No, it's
Or we
all
would cover it for
employees.
everybody.
All employees, including council, total coverage for 3 years. And the cost of that, with the exception of AMI, which is the international aspect, is $52,800 for 3 years. And as Councilman Arturo mentioned, what the cost was for your one flight, it's a pretty good idea.
Charles, will this hurt our budget?
I mean, we build stuff in there from a contingency, Councilman, so I mean, it's not like, it will have an impact. It was not budgeted. It could come that assignment.
Okay, I need clarification. Sarah, if you want to come up here, I couldn't hear
And
you
I
that
also
well.
have Miss Roxanne here, she's
Um,
our benefits.
You know, we've got this and we're covered without having to pay anything. And then we want to add your deal, so what?
I believe that's employee or payroll deduction, right?
Yes, the employee elects, yes, I'm sorry. Really?
Go ahead.
Yes, so this is completely elected by the employees if they'd like to enroll in that.
This one, there.
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is what we currently have or
Yes, sir.
for the employees. Aren't we covered in the county?
Yes, so we're covered it through the county and that's only in our area. So that is for flights, I believe. And so the staff, if you look into the information that was given to you, I believe it also covers transports and the flights and a few other things.
So the actual agreement between my company and the county covers all Reeves County residents to fly out of area. That doesn't cover anything outside of area. So the two items that we initially discussed and planned to cover for all city employees and council was total domestic coverage in and out of the area, including fly you home, which is post-treatment, and say the patient wants to elect to recover at the home hospital, which we have a awesome hospital now. Why wouldn't you want to come home? We'd fly the patient back home. The other aspect is we don't have a limited per year transportation number like NASA does. 2 in a year, that's it, you're on your own. With us, you're utilizing your home asset, unlimited coverage, including transportation of mortal remains and organ transportation. And my favorite part of membership entirely is it covers the entire household without any additional cost because of the agreement that I have with Reeves County. So I'm passing that discount on to all city employees and council to not only upgrade from this, but to make sure you're taken care of. That exposure is eliminated from your financial future.
So not just
And
the
this is-
employees, but their spouse.
The entire household, yes, sir.
But okay, clarify this for me.
Yes, sir.
What we're under now, we're not paying anything for, it covers our whole family too.
No, sir, that's not the way NASA works.
Yes, it depends on the plan
Yeah.
Do what now?
it depends on the plan the employee elects to join.
I thought, but you know, I guess we had somebody in the past come and I thought everybody that lives in Reeves County is covered.
That would be me.
Through the ESD.
Yes, through the ESD.
So that's actually not the ESD, it's the actual agreement with Reeves County that I have with Reeves County.
I guess
And
I'm
that's-
slow.
Yeah, it's just
trying to
flights
find
out
out the
of,
difference.
it's just flights out of Reeves County, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So
if you
what would
get,
it
if
be?
you get,
I
if
guess
you
it-
get injured, wrecked, whatever, they could fly a helicopter in, pick you up, take you to wherever.
Well,
But
that's
that's
gonna
all
be
that
me.
Reeves County does.
Well, that's what we provide for
Right.
Reeves County residents.
Right.
Not NASA.
But,
Or Medicare does.
but this one would be in or out.
Total domestic coverage
Okay,
for the entire household.
okay.
What do you mean by in and out?
So the agreement that we have with Reeves County, again, covers only in-area flights out. Right. We actually have a base here in case you want to wear. We support our community. We're here for every patient that comes out of not only this hospital, but multiple in the area. To answer your question, when you have a medical event outside of the area, the financial exposure belongs to the patient.
Okay, so
Pretty simple.
I was thinking that the one that we have in Reeves County, that if we were somewhere else in the country, it covered us.
No, sir.
No, it's just in a certain area.
Yeah.
It's this area and that's it.
Yeah.
However, you more than likely will be flown by us. We are the world's largest medical transportation company. 320 bases in the US alone.
The one that you're thinking about, Randy, you can get that out of state or out of country, whatever, but you gotta pay for it. It's not a cost.
So the proposal is, again, to cover all city employees and council for 3 years, basically at the cost of almost one flight.
So I'm just seeing what we would get with the $50,000. So we're getting flights in, back in? Is what
Yes,
we're
sir.
getting?
So that aspect of membership is called Fly You Home. So not only are you going to receive flights out of Reeves County at no out-of-pocket expense, you're going to receive flights out of Reeves County and return, including mortal remains, organ transportation throughout our domestic network. Again, I was able to make sure that my hometown, my folks here, got a pretty good deal.
And like you said, yeah, Cindy was going from here to Vesting, it's almost 40 something like that. Mine was from Monahan, so basically 38 something. Luckily, some of the insurance covered it, but still, it's fine.
Could I ask a
Yes, ma'am.
question, just for clarification?
Sure.
On the program the city has right now with NASA, if for any reason one of the employees did elect to have the premium or the platinum membership, it does say that it would cover patient return, organ retrieval, mortal remains.
I do know, I don't work for NASA, I do know that you will use my aircraft.
Yes,
Because
and
it's
then
coming out of
they'll
my
pay
base.
you.
And so we're gonna bill them,
And they're gonna.
and then they're gonna limit you by transportation number and flights total per year, and they don't cover household.
So there is on the platinum, it does cover companion.
Oh, it might be spouse, or I'm not sure what their verbiage is.
Yes, so my question is if someone already has that plan through the city,
Mhm.
and they did fly aircraft, because I know this plan is payroll deducted,
Mhm.
but it covers for any medical, any ground or air,
yeah,
not
and-
just air med.
Sure, and well, it is gonna be airmed. I don't have any opposition to carrying both, since it's payroll deduction. I mean, y'all can keep doing it for as long as you want, I mean, or you can cancel it. It's up to, I think, the member. Because that's a monthly fee, isn't it?
Yes, but it wouldn't benefit the employees, right, because the way it's built, like one would, right, if I'm explaining that correctly, Roxanne? I don't know, have you met Roxanne? She's our benefits coordinator, she's really good at our
Okay.
insurance stuff.
Right, so, when an employee is air flying, they are still billed through their insurance. So we have no offset of claims. So that claim is still coming through our medical insurance. And then AirMed would come in and basically write off the rest of it. But it does not offset.
I wouldn't
uh,
say a write-off, that's.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's not a write-off, but I mean,
Yeah.
we would be paying for it, yes.
So the point.
plan, but it does not offset our medical plan.
So it kind of leaves exposure, again, what the whole purpose of being here is to eliminate exposure for all city employees, right? And eventually I'll get over to the county too, but Mass is not a actual provider. I'm the provider. They're a third party. And, based on what everybody's saying here, it's a payroll deduction that's elected through the employee. This is a tool for y'all to utilize as a retention tool or a recruitment tool, but most importantly, remove the exposure financially from your city employee, yourselves.
So if we go,
So-
if we go to the city, what you're offering for
Yes,
3
sir.
years, 55,000, the employees can cancel the other.
Yes, sir. And that's at their decision. I can't tell them
No,
what
no,
to
no,
do.
just-
Yeah,
Yeah,
just that there's,
but-
yours is just air, and through NASA, it's through ground. or
Again,
air.
they don't have any assets. They're somebody.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
But it's still
So this
ground.
portion of the network, my area, 14 counties, we don't utilize ground. I'm all air right now, but that could change, and we're
But if
working
there
on it.
was-
So,
If there's other providers, NASA would still cover if it was ground. It would still cover their
I
they
can't
elect in
speak,
Massa.
I can't speak for them, but I can tell you that Reeves County is taking care of the residents of Reeves County.
Yes, but not just in Reeves County. I mean, it's anywhere in the United States.
We do have a network across the US, yes, ma'am.
And that's what I'm saying, but yours is just for air.
For this territory, yes, for now.
Charles, what do you think?
Randy, it's up to council. I mean, I think we have, I mean, I understand the one side. I do know that we've been offering the plan through Massa as a payroll deduct, so there's no cost to the city from that standpoint. $55,000 for 3 years is not cost prohibitive, is that what it is, Glenn? Or 55 a year?
Yeah, so the total will be 52,800,
For 3
including
years.
council, coverage for 3 years.
So when you
And-
look at it from that standpoint, you're looking at about $17,000 a month or a year. It's, if you are looking to augment employee benefits, this would be an augmented employee benefit. But it would be foolish to carry the duplicity stuff. And we'd have to make sure that we share it with the employee that if you are carrying Massa, do you have too many layers of insurance? You can become insurance poor.
Right.
And so you have to really make sure that,
That they understand
if we
that.
move this way, we have to have these conversations with our staff and tell them, you know what, this one you pay for, but you're not gonna need it anymore because this will replace it. If we look at it from an employee benefit, it would be an additional benefit, Randy, but, it would cost, it would be absorbed through our budget process. So if we're talking 52 for 3 years, I mean, $17,000 a year is relatively cheap for 160, 170 employees. And I think probably several of us here, I've never had to use it, Councilman Ronas had to use it, Holly has had to use it, so I'm sure other staff have had to use it or experienced it. So, initially, when I look at it, if it's 55,000 or 52 a year, it's expensive. If it's 50,000, 2,000 for 3 years, it's a little less. But we'd have to, I mean, I would feel bad to try to tell our employees to continue using the Massa side if we're getting this benefit, because I think it's wasted dollars. I carry Massa right now. I pay for it. I don't know what the plan is on.
And we're in that window where they could drop it without,
wanted to?
if they needed to, the Massa.
But they dropped Massa.
Could they, if we decided to go with AirMed?
We do. The one thing that we'd have to make sure that we're explaining to the staff is it is all air. It does not include ground transport, so I mean, it would mean that if they were going to get transported anywhere, that they should use air.
Do we know, do we have a total of how many employees are currently signed up for Massa?
Yes. We have 46.
46, so.
It's a low number. So how many employees do we have?
46.
150.
So
About a third.
160, we go.
Okay. Mayor, make a motion that we approve the purchase of full medical flight membership through AirMed as presented.
I'll second.
I have a motion from Councilwoman Trujillo, a second from Councilman Saldana to approve the purchase of full medical flight membership through AirMed as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I'll let the record show the motion carries. Thank you.
I'll get to work for y'all.
Ah.
Thank you. Good night.
We'll go to item F5. Discuss, consider entering into a contract agreement with Foresight Group for the comprehensive study action plan in connection to the Safe Streets and Roads for All, the SS4A grant, Strategic Goal 2, Safe and Secure City, Charles Lino, City Manager.
Mayor and Council, Charles Lino, City Manager. This is the formalized agreement that we've been discussing for a few weeks, that we came and we presented to you all for awarding about a month ago. This agreement has gone back and forth with the city staff as well as with our city attorney, because the initial one that we looked at, they gave us two options. The first one, Parker and I had conversation, and we told them we'll never use that. It was a master services agreement. We modified this agreement in ways that protect the city that were not there before. This is the one that we talked about that was a $443,000 city match with a $1.9 million grant. That would have been about $2.375 million. The proposed contract amount on this one is $2,273,000. $73 and $30 to complete this plan. We were very happy with the timeline. This plan will be completed before the end of March, and I recommend that we approve this agreement as written.
You know, we passed this one. I've already, I'm going to awarded, no, I've already did. But I have to read about it more. You know, it's just, something just stands out, and especially like with the cycling contract, we have somebody from Florida, not here, not even close, not even close by. You know, they don't understand our ways, how we're going, or what direction we're going. To be honest with you, I would have voted to try to pay a little bit more attention to it. I don't know if you know that.
They are a national firm. Their main office is based in Georgia, in Atlanta. They do have two satellite offices, one in Fort Worth and one in San Antonio. And so the groups that we've been working with are the ones that are, one of the groups was based out of San Antonio. Not that that makes a difference. We looked at just on what they've done and their history and their work product, and they've produced several of these plans already. Some of the second one had produced a lesser number, and some of the other people that were bidding on it had never done one. So that's why they were not scored some.
This is what the employees voted on, or recommended?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I wasn't here for that meeting, and I saw it on the Facebook later on and all that, and I was like, and I saw, I would have been in agreement with Councilman Trujillo on this one. So I would have done the same thing, and just one of the things that, it's something that we have locally that's gonna be providing something that's coming in the future, but we need to make sure, what bothers me is that, I don't care if it's a national company or what it is, but one of the questions that Councilman Trujillo asked was, are they gonna have boots on the ground? And if they're not, I mean, they don't know the dynamics of our community at all, to begin with. The one that wrote what is it? The one that wrote it, and then the way it was you know, put through the system, graded to where is it? You know, some of the comments that I heard there, it just kind of bothered me, because I don't want to be shortchanged by nothing and by nobody. You know, one of the things I've always said, and you all heard it, is I don't like the prostitution of our town by anybody coming out, just doing their thing and then leaving. And so, you know, Councilman Corona just said what I was feeling and what Councilman Trujillo said earlier. So from the initial, we wouldn't even be discussing that if I'd been here. But I was out of town that day, so couldn't do nothing about it.
But we don't know if they're gonna do a bad job. What about the ones that are closer? Are they gonna do a good job?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
This one has experience. It's done a lot of, employees, voted on this?
Well, let me give you an example. And this may not, may be a bad example. But we hired a firm to run a $40 million.
It's a bad example.
And
That's a bad example.
it's a bad example because they haven't
That's not
performed.
gonna, that's not gonna be applicable
I'm
to
just
every
telling you.
situation.
Well, we can't judge how another company's gonna work by
No,
that
we-
example.
No, we don't. But the process, one of the things I heard was, through the grading process, the one that knew this contract, which was the city manager, actually stepped out of the grading, right?
Yeah, I was not involved in the initial
Okay.
grading on this stuff.
He was the one that knew all this, not the other city employees. Were they involved in all I guess to bring it all together to make a fair assessment of what was being out there? That's what I'm asking. Because we don't want to open ourselves to something that can come and hit us later on that, because I don't understand all this stuff about
Yes, sir.
grants, and I don't understand it, so I can't really say, judge something fairly. But just hearing what I heard through not being here, but hearing it later, man, it was kind of bothering me about that, and so I just want to make sure that we do a fair, and then Councilman Carrasco wasn't here then, and Councilman, he's not here now, so I would prefer that we table this and have all of us here and make a fair judgment, if everybody agrees. That's just my opinion.
From that standpoint, what I need to clarify is, we've awarded the agreement. We can choose not to move forward with it, and we have to go through the process again. Or, if this was awarded, and the contract's been validated the way it is, we can move forward. It's up to you. So, I mean, I'm not trying to do it either way. I can tell you that subsequent to that, Councilman Saldana did review all of the proposals. It was something that I thought it would be good for us to put something together. We do have to grow our staff, and I had conversations with Heather about doing a workshop, and I think a workshop with our staff, and we would love to invite mayor and council to come to that just to see what the actual validation and scoring process looks like. Because without knowing the process, and it's a state designated process that you have to go through, it does use individual judgment sometimes. So, I mean, you're gonna have to do it. And we had a list, and everybody scores it differently. And if I had been scoring this, the top two that they chose would have probably been my top two strictly because of experience. Lack of experience always scares me. You always want to give somebody a chance if you can. But in this instance, the timeline is very tight, and I think if we go with someone less experienced, we may or may not hit our deadline. And I don't want to get back $1.9 million a month.
And that's why I guess we voted, the timeline was the issue, that's what we're going to go for it. So
Yes, sir.
legally, are we binding with this contract?
So if you all don't approve the contract, I mean, it can be put out again for bid. We've not obligated ourselves yet.
And how will this affect the timeline? How long will this?
It'll be 6 weeks before we can get anything back to score it again, 4 to 6 weeks. With it coming in the end of the year, we won't make the deadline.
Okay, so I was on the committee for the SS4A that the county was awarded.
Yes, ma'am.
And if they do this anything like the county would, they will have a committee of law enforcement, city people, county people, business owners, everybody putting their input on how we can make our streets safe. They will bring us data on accidents within the city limits, where our hot spots are, and those where they can key in. Plus, they said they're gonna have surveys that local people can do, which the SS4A did, I mean, the other group did. I can tell you out of those that they bid on this and they didn't score as high. And the county gave them that project. And we haven't had a meeting in a while. But if they do it according to the SS4A guidelines, they're restrict, I mean, they have guidelines they have to, thresholds they have to meet for part of this. And they will have, I mean, all of us can be on that committee to say this is what we want done.
Y'all will absolutely be involved in that, but on the stakeholder committee as we go through this, because y'all are vital to the community, and we have, as the mayor alluded, you have a wide array of people. You have to get a very broad spectrum so that you're getting information as to what everybody's view is going to be different as to what is the most vital safety issue in the city. And so that would be why you have to get a wide scope. The school district does that, those type of surveys, those type of work groups. The county has done that with this SS4A. That's what this group intends to do if they're awarded the contract and they go through this.
And the county purposely, since they found out that we had been awarded our grant, they purposely did on the outside, they left the city of Pecos alone because they knew we had this grant coming in, and they concentrated on Reeves County. So Pecos is not going to get anything from the Reeves County
No,
grant.
this is for strictly a plan that'll be put together. It benefits not only our community, it benefits future grants that we can do with this, and it also will benefit some of the proposals that the school district is looking at.
Could we have combined with them instead of having two separate?
They were done on two separate grant applications, so we could not have combined with that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Who was involved in the processing of the rating?
Heather, I mean, Wendy can tell you exactly.
Yes. It was second. Yes.
So you have to follow state guidelines.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Using the grading system.
And then part of that process too, while we're grading in there, we cannot sit in there and discuss with each other. Like even if Charles was in there, Charles cannot sit in there and discuss with, even if you were on there, cannot sit in there and discuss what he thinks is best, what he doesn't think is best. You can't have any of those conversations.
It's all individual.
It's all individual.
Yes, and then we sign that these are gonna be graded and scored on an individual basis.
Yeah, it's against state law to do it with any
Each
type of
individual
collaboration.
just would go through the questionnaire, grade it,
Yes.
and then
We go through and we all review as a committee, the RFP that was put out there, what the city is looking for, what we're grading each respondent on, what those weights look like. I mean, we explain the process, what they're looking for. We give best practices, and that's it. So everybody has a guideline, so nobody went in there empty-handed, not knowing what to do.
They were given what we asked for, and they had the end result of what was sent to us
Correct. And
to
then
see
we're all
if
sitting there
everybody
telling each
complied
other-
with what was asked for.
I guess, the 2 million, I guess for another example, Councilman Graham is the board in Denver raising Pecos, $500,000, almost $750,000, and our investment is not returning anything. So that's my trepidation on it, doing too much money for somebody that's not here, is our return gonna be good?
Well, but if they have office in Fort Worth and San Antonio, the people that did the county grant are in Lubbock. So they're not here.
Well, and $1.9 million of the 2.273 will be covered by the grant. So the
There's
city's
a-
piece of it is 300,000, 400,000.
There's some language in here that says that if the grant, where was it? I just had it. If the grant, for whatever reason, is revoked or canceled, it is agreed that the city will terminate this agreement and pay the contractor for work performed to date up to an amount not to exceed the city's original 20% share. So if we're, is there any chance that the grant may not be awarded?
There is not. And the reason that was put in there is Parker reviewed it, and we thought we needed to put something, language like that in there just in case something did happen. Councilwoman Trujillo, that we needed to cover ourselves. That was the intent of that, and that was not in the original agreement. Our city
I
attorney
knew
added that
it
in
wasn't
there.
because I don't remember seeing it.
No, our city attorney put that in there just to cover us from that
I
standpoint.
remember, I was like,
That's why it was put
okay.
in there. It wasn't from the vendor, it was from our city attorney.
And as I understood it, the grant was fully funded, but federal government's a bit chaotic. So
At the moment.
if something did happen, if it got pulled, or if Doge came in and cut it or something, I don't know. I just want to make sure we weren't on the hook for the full 2.2 if
Right.
something happened to that.
Right.
That, and then included a termination clause if there's, really if there's cause, if they fail to comply with their obligations, or if something happens to that grant.
So is this like a second reading?
This is the resolution is all it is. This is the contract. After going through it, it was, the award was approved. This is the contract that we have to bring back to be able to execute in order to get the work beginning.
Well, I gotta support the city employees because they went through all the regulations and complied with the steps and stuff that Teresa was talking about. And they know more about it than I do. I think maybe the rest of the council. But, it's kind of a shot in the dark. We've got to trust y'all. I do anyway. I would like to make a motion to approve this.
I just want to say that it's not about not trusting the city employees in making a decision. It's just about, it's such a, it's a big project. It's not about not trusting city employees.
And again, I'm still going back and forth in my head. And again, I'll lean more on the timeline, and I'll have to backtrack again. There is some pressure, I mean, I hate to use the word pressure, but there's a timeline we've got to meet in order not to lose something. Is that a possibility?
It could be. It could still be done by someone else if you all choose not to. It's just that the likelihood of getting it completed in a good manner is
So it
diminished.
has to be completed by,
It has to be completed by August of next year. This timeline with these guys is to have a complete report by March.
This ties into what the school wants to help us with.
It does. Yes, sir. Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts on this to where we can get benefit all the way around. It's also going to allow us to apply for more grants that relate to the recommendations within the report. And there's going to be a lot of that that's going to be segregating some of the stuff that we're already looking at. Probably, I would anticipate that we're going to talk a lot about walking lanes, safe places to walk and bike and hike, and lighting and some of those type of issues, as well as I'm sure they will address some of the stuff with TxDOT that we can go to TxDOT and just say, look, we have this SS4A grant. You all are negligent in these aspects, especially on some of our state roads. They should have turning lanes. They should have this other stuff that would be making our ground, our community safer. I'm not trying to sell it. I'm just telling you what I expect to get out of it.
okay, so we have a motion from Councilman Graham, a second from Councilman Arona to approve entering into contract with Foresight Group as presented. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Both of you opposed? So we had 2 for and 2 against, so the motion does not carry. Oh, we have a tie. Then I vote for it. But we have, so the motion did carry.
First time.
Is that the first time here?
That's the first time I've had to vote.
What's the date? October 23rd.
I'll remember that.
Would you like to say?
Okay, so that one passed. So now we go to F6, discuss, consider resolution 25-10-05R, a resolution adopting a Vision Zero policy to reduce and prevent traffic fatalities in Pecos. Strategic Goal 2, safe and secure city, Charles Lena. Kind of goes hand in hand.
It does. This is a companion one that they've been doing on all of their other ones, to where they're trying to get communities to adopt a Vision Zero plan. It is a very rigid ask to try to, especially in our community, to try to. Our goal is to reduce accidents and fatalities down to zero. There's nothing wrong with having that type of ambitious goal. Some of the criteria that they have in there, where it says, part of it says, Vision Zero recognizes that people will sometimes make mistakes, so the road systems and related policies should be designed to ensure that those inevitable mistakes do not result in severe injuries or fatalities. Therefore, transportation planners, engineers, and policymakers are expected to improve the roadway environment policies and other related systems to lessen the severity of the crash. It gives you other statistics within there, but the premise of it is if we go down to the bottom and we talk about, therefore, the town of Pecos City therefore adopts the goal of zero traffic deaths and serious injuries, stating that no loss of life or injury is acceptable on our streets. The town of Pecos City adopts the goal of eliminating traffic deaths and serious injuries by 2050 and endorses Vision Zero as a comprehensive and holistic approach to achieving this goal. The City Council hereby directs the city staff to complete a comprehensive safety action plan that will determine the policy, the education, enforcement, and project strategies that will assist the town of Pecos City to reach Vision Zero. And that the City Council hereby directs the staff to complete a comprehensive safety action plan by the spring of 2026 to implement the plan in earnest and be in the best position to compete for further implementation of the funding. The reason that they're looking at this and that they recommended this is it would complement the plan that we just approved on the last item. This would give us additional things if we adopt this policy, where there's some grants that will come out once we have that policy, that plan in place, that will allow us to go after additional grants at the federal level. That's the purpose of this Vision Zero resolution.
I was wondering why we had to do this.
And this one, it doesn't prohibit or inhibit anything else on the other one at all. It would just complement it. And I mean, all of us, I mean, some of the criteria that I read, I mean, I could state 100% that all of us are going to be in favor of no traffic fatalities in our area, but achieving that is a different goal. I mean, Chief probably is.
So do we have to achieve zero in order to?
No.
This just puts it on the books because we wouldn't have to try to achieve the zero, Councilwoman Trujillo, until 2050. So we'd have about 25
But it
years.
would give us, we've got this resolution in place to say, hey, this is our goal. This is the reason we have these ordinance, or this is the reason we're establishing this ordinance. This ordinance is because our goal is to have zero deaths.
And
But
improve
is
the
that
safety.
going to hold us back from receiving any type of funding? Because I've seen them say, well, your goal was to get to zero, but you didn't get to zero, so then you didn't meet your goal, so then you're not eligible for the money.
This resolution will not do that because of the 2050 as a unit. There's going to be a lot of things. These programs may not be around by 2050. I don't know that for sure, but I mean, that's why in the interim it would probably behoove us to do that. It would let us go for other grants just with that.
You know, they just put out stuff out there like it's obvious, but then it's like a little loophole for them to say, well, you didn't meet your goal. You
Yeah, no,
said
absolutely.
Vision 0 and you got Vision 10.
Absolutely.
So
Yes, ma'am.
X.
No, totally agree with you 100% on that.
And who's gonna, is this involving everybody or police department, sheriff department, ESDs, stuff like that?
Well, this would be the city side of it, so I mean, it would be
Okay.
something that they're gonna, that as these plans progress, they're probably gonna ask the county to do the same thing and try to get a
If
Vision
they haven't
Zero.
already.
If they haven't already, yes, ma'am.
And approving this, who has the lead on it? I mean, I know it's a city deal, but is it a police department that has a lead on it, or?
It'd be a collaboration between the police department and staff. It's something, I mean, the chief is already working on different plans that would address a lot of this anyway, so it would just be formalizing stuff that we're already doing.
And so you can see with our last presentation for our biannual report, our accidents are already coming down, and it's just for some implementation of stuff that we already implemented. Of course, we continue each year, we're gonna add different stuff, kind of like the CMB that we brought to you last council, where we're looking to put that commercial motor vehicle enforcement. That's just one of the other things that we're gonna have in place to kind of lower accidents.
And that would augment something.
And the goal is to get 0 accidents, right? But, you know, it's.
Will car insurance go down?
I'm sure there's got to be some incentives just because our community's going to participate in the program.
Anything else? Now make a motion to approve at 6, as presented by Councilman, City Manager.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion from Councilman Arona, a second from Councilman Graham, to approve Resolution 25-10-05R as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries. Go to item F7, discuss, consider rescheduling the November 27th, 2025 regular city council meeting. Strategic Goal 5, promote open and consistent communication. Wendy Lujan, City Secretary. Lujan. Oh, I got that wrong.
Mayor and Council, I call upon you so that we can discuss rescheduling the November 27th, 2025 regular city council meeting due to Thanksgiving. I did look at the dates and I ran it through administration as well. If y'all can agree on, and of course this is only a recommendation to y'all, on November 20th. If that is okay, the only thing that the city does have going on, I want to let y'all know, because y'all normally attend with us, is the Thanksgiving luncheon, but that is at noon.
So we'll be full of turkey and ready to go to sleep.
Yes. So.
May I make a motion, we reschedule the November meeting, second meeting to November the 20th instead of the 27th?
I'll second.
I have a motion from Councilman Arona, a second from Councilman Saldana, to reschedule our November 27th meeting to November 20th. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries. Okay, item F8, discuss, consider ordinance 25-10-01, an ordinance amending the master fee schedule, business fees, first reading, strategic goal 1, sustainable economic development. Randy Graham.
Okay, on that page 2 of the ordinance is where we would make a change. Everything else stays the same. But I've had, I guess, Art, you know, we had that one lady that wants to come in. The $300 is a little high per month. And then we had some other snow cone, not food related, but other, I think, what was that lady guy's name? Ariel Salgado, yeah. So I've had a couple complaints about this deal, and I don't see any reason not to lower it to 300 to 100. And it'd be for local vendors only.
Local vendors. Okay. One person that comes out of Belmar, you can cut here or here. No. Not local, she's from Belmar.
Well, they're part of the county, I think. It'll be in Palmyra, and even that could be part of the county. But
what is the definition of a local vendor?
Yeah.
And then it says non-food, so.
It's any vendor that comes in and sells locally in town.
With somebody from this area?
Is it,
Not
I mean, how do you
necessarily.
define local? Does they have to have a Pecos address, or do they have to have
No,
a Reeves County address?
No, locally means that they're gonna be selling in Pecos,
Okay.
and it doesn't matter where they're from.
Councilman Trujillo pointed it out, non-food, but that would exclude the snow cone.
Yes, that would exclude Ariel.
Okay.
So he would still be at the 300.
But
Can't help it.
isn't there a new Texas law that goes into effect next year for
In
food
July.
vendors?
In July, but there is still requirements that they would have to follow through the city. Of course, we can be stricter than the state, but we can be more lax than the state.
What are the changes that are coming?
They're going to exempt all mobile food vendors from inspection status. and stuff like
What?
that,
Oh,
which
just
is-
a health permit. They're still be required.
They can still inspect.
Yeah,
They'll
yeah.
still
They're
inspect.
also talking about.
Oh, yeah, the health, it would be the health permit would be issued through the state.
Yeah, they have to issue
And
that.
there is I was reading the ordinance, there is a portion that says that we could go into like a interlocal agreement with them for
For the inspection.
inspections.
Right.
Yes.
It's like TCEQ.
Yeah.
It would have to be done within 14 days. I was reading as far as once the vendors said if we have the agreement, if not, they would have to come in and inspect it in 14 days.
And the issue that they're running into right now with the current staffing at the state level, and the volume of
That
health
they're not
inspections,
prepared for it.
it could take 6 months to get a health inspection on something. So it's gonna be very prohibitive, but the way that the law was written, it's gonna take 6 months for them to come inspection, but until they do come inspect you, unless they get third-party contracting, you can operate your business. So you can operate without a health permit for however long it takes the state to get it. Well, that's the scary piece of it.
But the health permit will get issued through the state, and that's for all of Texas.
Right.
Are they gonna go up on the rates?
It didn't say anything about fees. I
Yeah, I don't
didn't
know
read
what
anything
the
about
fees
how
were.
much the fees
And
would
did
be.
I read that you can't limit the number of food trucks in you have? They can put a food truck wherever they want, in the
That is-
middle of a road if they wanted to?
That is correct. The limitations that way were passed by legislature.
So that 10 that we have,
Next year will go away.
that goes out the window.
It does, yes, sir.
So they're basically telling the city how to run.
Exactly.
They are. The state is taking that
I
piece.
wonder who's,
Charles, I want you to tell them, we're not gonna buy that.
We'll shut the
Well,
gas
next
and
time I
oil
talk
out.
to them.
Yeah, we will.
Just shut it down.
because you know that's gonna put, to me, I mean, I'm glad we're limited food trucks, but man, I don't go to the food trucks, period. But, and not because they're bad, because I've eaten some of the food, they're excellent, but they're kind of limited. I mean, we don't get no tax out of it, unless they do it, except the fee.
We're supposed to, well, we should be
There's-
getting sales tax,
tax,
but
yeah.
a lot of these food trucks, and I'm not saying they're doing anything wrong, but when you walk up to some place and they're telling you it's cash only,
Yeah.
That's
it
our
brings into
concern.
question submissions.
Can we control that?
So I just have to point out that the one that authored this bill was Brooks Landgraf.
Yeah.
Just FYI.
Really?
Just have to throw that out there. So take it up with Mr. Landgraf.
He's suggesting it's getting kicked out.
I'm sorry, what?
Well, it's just, it's gonna put a more burden on the state, and the state is already understaffed for what they're, so it's like they're passing laws that they don't know anything about the paperwork part of it.
So they're not gonna have to deal with the.
Well,
And they don't have to deal with the problem we do.
And you know, one of the things that I experienced, they put a food truck on an empty lot right there by the house. But and Donnie was here, and I called Donnie and said, you need to go over there because our trash can was full of their boxes and I went to the people and I told them, hey, y'all need to learn how to cut your boxes. But we couldn't throw the trash because everything was being thrown in there
Well, first
until
of all,
they.
they should not cut the boxes, they should have their own trash can.
Yeah, and that's what Donnie did. We went over there, they put a trash can, but, and they don't take care of their grease either. Because, man, we had flies all over the place for that stuff, and man, I don't know who wrote the book. Brooks wrote this thing, and that's kind of silly.
Okay, so we kind of got off topic, but anyway,
Yeah, we-
we've got
Okay.
first reading of our ordinance, so
I'll make a motion to approve first reading for F8 as presented by Councilman Grant, C3.
One second.
I have a motion from Councilman Arona, a second from Councilman Graham to approve the first reading of ordinance 25-10-01 as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'm opposed.
Okay. The motion carries.
I think we need to trust our employees with the ordinances and they're backing them up. It's not going back and forth. Every time somebody complains about the ordinance, the fee.
But the motion carries.
Yeah.
Update on city improvement projects for water and wastewater infrastructure, strategic goal 7, enhance Pecos' infrastructure network. Art Corona.
Yeah, I think we all got a letter from some lady in August, about sorry from Stewart, I think that's her last name, for not paying attention or reading it earlier. She mentioned in her letter that the smell. And so what came to mind is we're looking at growing a lot of industries coming into town, especially the industry, which is going to require a lot more refuge. I just want to know where are we projects concerning our older infrastructure and plans to address it before they get strained more.
They're in the plans right now with the upgrades at our wastewater treatment plant. We'll be able to take some of that burden. It's also some of the stuff that you all authorized a few months back that were some large dollar amounts related to lift stations. We're doing about $1.2 million worth of lift station upgrades and repairs and renovations that we awarded 4 different vendors. Those are ongoing right now in the process. I got 4 of those letters on my desk. I got the one that I received and 3 others that were handed to me. I think I owe it to her, and I was going to talk to council when we're talking here. I think I want to write her a letter back and make sure that we've responded. Some of the issues are going to have, if it's consistent, we may have a line issue. But if sometimes with some of our sewer lines, if they get a little bit clogged, whether it be on the homeowner side or on the city side, and some of our mains, we're going to get that. So then we have to go jet them, and we have to, and we've been consistently taking care of that within a day. Whenever we have to do that, unless we have a jetter truck down, we've had to run. But there are plans in the immediate future to try to start addressing some of the old asbestos clay lines. As we tear up streets, as we're getting some of our streets done, we want to go ahead and put new water and sewer infrastructure in if it's there. So we do have a plan for it. I don't want to make any commitments until it'll be done by this time next year, because we have hundreds of miles of pipe underneath the ground that some of it has been there for 50 years, and most of the time we find out about it when something fails. And so we're trying to work on something. I've been working with Michael Baca and Jose Luis Delgado, as well as with Kelvin, trying to come up with a plan that will start addressing certain areas of the city. So we are working on it. It's probably going to take a little bit of time. I know that we completed, I was looking at something that Kelvin put together, the water and sewer group last year completed 34 projects that they had planned out and they put on there. There's about 8 of them that are still in process. That was from their fiscal year 2024 that ended in October. So there's a lot of plans going on right now. We will see some of it when we get our new water field in and start putting those lines in the areas that are going to be affected. As we put those lines in, we're going to put the water and sewer lines. With the connection that's going to be coming across Lincoln Street, we're working with the county right now because it's going to be cheaper for us to partner with them to get the water and sewer lines upgraded as they build that new subdivision to the east there. So we're working on a lot of those, and I think the upgrades that we're doing at the lift stations are going to mitigate some of that issue. I didn't know I was presenting this tonight, so hopefully I did.
I think what you said. You should start to give prep for it, but I gave you kudos for that last one little session we had.
Well, I try to get, I owe it to you. That's what you all had me here for.
Well,
is to
they're
make sure I can get it to you.
working on something off the staff by the old hospital.
That's the water line that can improve the water flow.
It's part of the water flow, and there's also the plan as we're to the final piece where we'll do that We have land that we're working on, but we're doing a little less right there as Stafford flows into Highway 17. It'll be a direct access across. It's already been planned, it's been approved through the engineering that we did. TxDOT accepted the project, so they're gonna have some input on it too.
And it'll have a traffic light there?
There'll be a traffic light there, yes, ma'am.
Thanks, sir.
Yes, sir.
Out there by the water tower, where the rec center is that a lift station too?
By the water tower, by the rack? No, sir. The activity that you see there is related to our new well field. That we're gonna have ground tanks there for that.
Okay. Item F10, update on the local government corporation board strategic goal 5, promote open and consistent communication. This was Hector Carrasco's item, and since he's not here to update, then maybe we should table this till he's here to give us an update on the local.
May I make a motion to table item?
I'll second.
I have a motion from Councilman Arona, a second from Councilman Saldana to table this update. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Seem like me.
Let the record show the motion carries. So we do have executive session, right?
We do, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so at this time, we're going to go to executive session under Government Code Section 551.071, consultation with attorney, 551.072, real estate, 551.074, personnel issues, and 551.087, economic development, and it is 8:06 p.m. 4 p.m. Is there anything from executive session that needs to be brought to open session? Okay. Discuss items for the next city council meeting. I've got the Reeves CAD purchase. Maybe we need to talk about the noise and neighbor complaints. And 124 Oak Street. Anything else?
I thought we were supposed to have this agenda, the Hagers, an update. We didn't?
And I'm gonna be absent on November 13th, just FYI.
Okay.
I got, since we've lost Kelvin, who's going to talk about the fire hydrant?
You want a fire hydrant replacement update?
Yeah,
Michael Block.
Okay. Can we have him come in and talk about it?
I have a question that we can discuss next week. The whole Rotary Chamber, Golden Girl, is that something we need to? Okay, so then let's put that on.
Do we?
Well,
Yeah.
no, the chamber, we actually don't have anything to do with the chamber, correct?
We have nothing, nor do
Okay,
we
so
have
it's-
anything. to do
But
with
we can
Rotary.
get a report on the hot tax
Yeah,
money.
that's what we're gonna ask, is a report on residual hot tax.
I mean, but that's not our responsibility. We need to stay out of it.
Anything else for the next meeting?
Oh, I was gonna bring up, but might be a big point, but the time, the inspections, health inspection goes that way, but food vendors, or people selling food out of their homes. I think you've answered that for me before, I mean, not sure.
It's not allowed.
Okay, so a lot of them go on Facebook and say
Yeah.
selling, and I'm
They are.
sorry, they're trying to raise money for this or that, medical reasons, but
So do we just need to call that in to Cindy and
Yeah.
tell her?
Yeah.
You can let anybody know.
Yeah, permits.
and then there's a fella that parks over in La Tienda with the handicap, got a placard, but he always puts his little daughter to go outside selling Mexican cheese and tortillas.
Pretty good.
We can't discuss it just yet, we'll put it on there.
Forget it,
Never mind.
she said it's good.
The appraisal district, they're gonna need us to go, approve their building, their new building.
I got it on.
Yeah, the mayor put it on there.
Yeah.
And this is the appraisal district, that's what they gave us.
Yeah. Anything else for our next meeting?
No, ma'am.
Okay, then we adjourn, and it is 8:47
Thank you, good night.
p.m.